Ever wonder why Airstreams are so expensive? Well, stick around. We interviewed an industry expert and we found out exactly why. Hi everybody, Mike from RVBlogger in front of the camera and Susan's behind the camera. And today we're at Airstream of Virginia where we met up with Tom DeWalt, who is a veteran salesperson in the RV industry, to find the answer to the question, why are Airstreams so expensive? Hey, if this is your first time seeing us on YouTube, welcome to the channel. We make tons of videos all about RVing, and we also have our website, RVBlogger.com, where we literally have hundreds of helpful articles all about RVing as well. So let's get started with our interview with Tom and find out what goes into an Airstream and why they're so expensive and valuable. All right, today we are at Airstream of Virginia down in Ashland, Virginia, and we have Tom DeWalt with us, who is a veteran in the business. He's been in RV sales for what, 40 some years?
Yeah, started when I was a kid. Been around it all my life.
Your dad was a dealer, owned a dealership?
Yeah, started in 1966, so I grew up in the business.
So Tom's been around a really long time and knows a ton about RVs, and now he works here at Airstream of Virginia, and he was kind enough to let us interview him a little bit and pick his brain about Airstreams. And I told him the one question that we get asked the most about Airstreams is, why are Airstreams so expensive? And so, Tom, we wanted to pose that question to you and get an answer from a true pro and get to the bottom of this and figure out what goes into these Airstreams that makes them so expensive.
Well, the number one thing to think about to start off with is that this is a hand-built trailer. This is all done by craftsmanship, skilled laborers. And there's about 350 hours that goes into the typical Airstream versus about 50 hours for the typical RV that you would run across.
That's a huge difference.
Big difference.
Yeah.
Airstream's mentality is always best in class and quality, longevity, durability. So, for example, currently 75% of the Airstreams ever made since 1931 are still registered and in use. So that's an incredible statistic.
It's an amazing statistic. So 75% of every one ever built still in use.
A big part of that is that as compared to most RVs, the shell of an Airstream is the structure. So over time, and that number's actually gone up over the last 20 years or so because people have been discovering the old ones, retrofitting, either restoring them or reimagining what they can do.
Yep.
And so they're very, very popular, and it's the iconic look.
Yeah.
The other benefit is that these are there's not a lot of change over time in terms of Airstream's mantra is don't make changes, make improvements.
Right.
So if you put to park two like floor plans side by side, one that's a 2010 and one that's a 2020, you would be hard pressed to notice what all the differences are. They look very similar, the layouts are the same, but there are a lot of little things that have changed over that time. But that also means that they hold their value very well because you're getting the same thing, whether it's a 2010 or a 2020 in general concept.
Yep.
So another part of it is that they are generational RVs. These are 50-year or more life to an Airstream with reasonable care and lower maintenance really than the other kind of trailers. And those trailers are really 10 to 15-year life with a lot more maintenance required to make that happen.
Yeah,
so
and people don't always perform the maintenance, so really they're even lucky to get the 10 before roof leaks and this breaks and that breaks.
Yeah,
and,
I've got a lot of experience on the service side as well, and the number of RVs that show up with a slide leak or a water damage that snuck up on people because they don't think about it until they're ready to use it, and then all of a sudden there's damage.
Yeah. Yep.
Airstream's also got a different mentality. I spent some time as a factory sales rep.
Okay.
I did that for about 2 years, and I can tell you from product development meetings that they'll beat the suppliers up to save 15 cents or 20 cents here and there. Airstream's the opposite. They are more interested in components that are going to last, be durable. So you tend to find things in here that, a great example is Airstreams above the Bambi level have sealed bearings. Never lube hubs, they're called, and they're much more expensive, but they don't require an annual bearing pack. Riveted seals are a lot less maintenance than the clamp-in windows that most trailers have. So there's a lot of things like that that make a big difference in ownership, experience, and durability and longevity. And all you have to do is open and close a Airstream door and you can tell the difference.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. We've been in and out of them all day and running around the dealership, and you can just tell the quality when you use, open, close, everything and anything inside an Airstream. They're really well built, you know.
Well, and I'm a convert. I mean, I spent most of my life on the other side of the RV world, and always said, why would anybody spend that much money? And you know, when you really dig in and see what the differences are, and especially having a background on the service and maintenance side, it's just incredible to really see how the cabinets. I mean, there's no staples in this trailer anywhere. There's no 1/8 inch, you know, 1/8 inch wall board stapled to studding in here. It's all well built, well structured. You could put mount something to the wall anywhere you want. It's going to go into real structure.
Well, that's pretty awesome to know. Now, how about as far as insulation and things like that go? Are these put together so you could use them all year round?
They're pretty much as 4-season capable as any RV out there. We still are limited to a 2.5 inch sidewall, which just about everybody in the industry uses. It is insulated, and it has an isolator so that between the aluminum framing and the exterior skin and the interior shell, a lot of people don't realize there's a hollow layer in there that has full of insulation. There's an isolator to keep that aluminum from transmitting heat and cold back and forth. So you really don't get hot spots or cold spots like you do on some other RVs. Also, all the tanks are in an actively heated enclosed area. So as long as you've got your heat on, you are going to prevent it from freezing. You may burn a lot of propane, but that's true of any RV.
That's for sure. And how about resale value and things like that? You guys, I assume, sell used Airstreams as well.
When we can get them.
They're very high in demand, and I think they sell like crazy as well.
I kind of touched on that with parking one next to the other. There's not a lot of difference. So if you can save a fair amount of money going with a 2010 over a 2020 that still has 30 or 40 years life left to it, why wouldn't you do that? It's not like they deteriorate the way that what we call box trailers do. They have a long life, they hold up very, very well, and they hold their value very well. They sort of plateau where they don't really drop a lot after that because there's so few of them out there. When we get a used one in, it is gone in hours or days. And I have a long list of clients to call if something shows up. So I usually have a deposit before it even hits the ground.
That's crazy. That's just amazing. So what would you say is the most popular model right now?
Well, Flying Clouds are the most popular just because of that's sort of a bread and butter point in the Airstream lineup. It does everything that all the other Airstreams will do. It's the middle of the road product, size wise, but one of the best sellers is the Base Camp. That's a price point thing, and it's also geared towards a younger, more active demographic. We're in a Globetrotter right now. It's a relatively new redesign, and these are just very hot. We rarely have them in inventory for very long, so they turn very quickly. And of course the Flying Cloud with the hatch rear is a popular thing too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I bet. That rear hatch is really cool. Gives you a little access to some extra storage or airflow or whatever you want to do.
A couple of great things. They used to be reserved for the special editions like the Tommy Bahama and the Pendleton and those kind of things, but we don't have one of those right now, so they're offering it in Flying Cloud and International. But what it does is makes your Airstream special. It gives you a cargo loading area so we can put all kinds of things in here easily. But more than that, it's a patio with a big screen, and so imagine yourself sitting here with the lake view out there.
Yeah.
It's just spectacular.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about the 3-year transferable
That's
warranty.
right.
And Airstream is, if not the only one of the only companies in the RV world that will transfer that warranty to the next owner. And it's 3 years on everything Airstream does, which is also pretty well unheard of.
Yeah, it is really in the industry. That's pretty amazing. And then all the components inside, they all come with their own warranties.
Correct.
But Airstream's got you for 3 years, and it's transferable, which is amazing. So.
And that also comes with, they also come with 3 years of roadside assistance and technical service and lots of advantages.
That's really cool. All right, well, Tom, thank you so much. We do appreciate
Thanks for having me.
Taking the time. Yeah, thanks. Well, I think we got our question answered as to why Airstreams cost as much as they do, but also why they hold their value as much as they do as well. And we're curious, what do you think about Airstreams? Do you think they're worth it? We certainly do. But let's hear what you have to say in the comments down below. And also, it's fascinating to me that 75% of Airstreams are still on the road. I would love to see some that are remodeled and check them out. And speaking of checking it out, if you want to check out some of our other videos, just click right here. And when you do, remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified every week when we put out a brand new video. So for Mike and Susan, we'll see you next time.